Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our quick publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Friday after Liverpool 5, RB Leipzig 0 in a pre-season friendly at the Red Bull Arena. Now, we wouldn't normally take anything from a pre-season friendly, but this one is worth pausing on because of the performance of Darwin Nunez. So Salah opened the scoring in the first half to put Liverpool 1 up. Darwin Nunez came on at half-time and absolutely destroyed Leipzig, scored 4 goals in 45 minutes, the first of which was a penalty. Diaz was brought down by the goalkeeper. Salah, very graciously, I thought, gave the ball to Darwin to take the penalty when Salah would undoubtedly be the penalty taker. But knowing that, we're looking to get Darwin's confidence up, looking to get him on track, Darwin steps up. It's not the best penalty in the world. You could tell he was a little bit nervous. He'd only been on the pitch a couple of minutes. But in it goes, and then he's off to the races. A couple of minutes later, it's 3 for Liverpool, 2 for Darwin. Trent feeds him in, and it's a great finish into the far corner. His third, Liverpool's fourth, is great work from Basetic. Really good pressing, wins the ball back, feeds Harvey Elliott. It's a good cross from Harvey, and Darwin gets a foot to it and deflects it into the far corner. And then his fourth is excellent work from Fabio Carvalho. Carries the ball, releases Darwin. Darwin goes to bend it in the far corner. Keeper should do better, but the power on the ball takes it past the goalkeeper and into the net. 4 goals for Darwin Nunez. And what was really striking about it was his movement and just how available he always is to receive the ball. You can already see he is going to get a ton of chances in this Liverpool team. And he is going to create a lot of them for himself by his movement, his pace, his power. And when we have players in our team like Trent, like Harvey Elliott, like Carvalho, like Diaz, like Salah, like Thiago, he's going to just get so much service that he's going to score a lot of goals. Whether or not he's the most technically polished player in the world is going to be irrelevant. We haven't bought him for that. Those are things he can work on. What we've bought him for is the raw materials, the pace, the power, the never-ending movement, and the fact that he's just a very, very good player. And, we saw rival fans desperate to put forward the fail comps, which were all very pathetic, really. None of them really included many fails, a couple of loose touches. But there wasn't exactly any bad misses. There's the one against United when Bailly throws himself in, and he has to try and lift it over Bailly's lunge. The one against Palace that people got excited about, well, the defender got a clip on the ball and knocked it out of his strike. There was a few that he drew good saves from goalkeepers. There was nothing really egregious about anything in those fail comps. You could tell United fans were pushing them because they're just bitter that he turned them down because he wanted to join Liverpool. The same thing goes for Arsenal. He turned them down as well. He turned down West Ham in January. And then obviously Chelsea fans getting themselves very excited. This is the club that wasted 97 million on Romelu Lukaku, who's now out on loan. The previous summer, they'd signed Timo Werner for, I think, 47 million. He's flopped. They've had the Morata flop, the Torres flop. I mean, the last successful striker they've signed was Diego Costa, and before him it was Drogba, really. And Anelka was there, and he had a decent run for a while, but I mean, no club knows flopping strikers better than Chelsea. And indeed, they're looking at going into next season with a front three of Sterling, Kai Havertz, and Mason Mount. I think there's reason to believe Darwin will outscore all of them quite comfortably in the season ahead. Mo will certainly outscore them, and I think Diaz has an opportunity to outscore at least two of them in Kai and Mount. So we won't pay any attention to those idiots. What we should pay attention to is just how good Darwin looked yesterday and how much confidence he's going to gain from those goals. Now, I also think it's worth pointing out that Fabio Carvalho looked really, really good when he came on. And I tweeted out last night that a 4-2-3-1 with Ali in goal, Trent, Ibu, Virgil, and Robbo as the back four, Fabinho, Thiago as the central midfield, and then Mo, Carvalho, and Diaz behind Darwin looks like it should be a lot of fun if they get a game together or a run of games together. Some people have obviously suggested that Bobby would be the 10. Bobby hasn't been particularly good for 3 years now, and Bobby has never been particularly good as a 10 for us. He was very good as a 10 for Hoffenheim, which is why we bought him. But I think if we're going to play 4-2-3-1 using the current group of players, Carvalho's probably the one that stands out as the best option to start right now. I mean, Harvey could play there, Bobby could play there, Curtis could play there. So we do have options, but Carvalho just seems to have a little bit of something extra to his game. I thought it was a really good showing from the Reds yesterday, and one that hopefully we'll build on now. Play Red Bull Salzburg next and should give them a good doing as well. Then it's the Community Shield, and then it's the Strasbourg game. And then we're right into the season. So 3 games left, and then we're right into the season. So things are ramping up. Plenty of post-match reaction and coverage on This Is Anfield for yesterday's game. There's also a piece about people being upset with the new ticketing scheme under the members program and how it just hasn't worked for a lot of people. Sadio Mane, former Red, has been named African Footballer of the Year ahead of current Red Mo Salah, and Mane had a good pop at the media for trying to create some baseless rivalry between him and Salah. Tyler Morton is set to go to Blackburn on loan. Harvey Elliott was there. It went very, very well for him. On the flip side, Leighton Clarkson went there, and it didn't go particularly well for him. So we'll see. It should be a good move for Morton, and hopefully he can get a lot of games under his belt, and we can see where he is at that point. We have conflicting reports coming out with regards to Liverpool and Matthias Nunez. So Matt Smith, the broadcaster, he says things are moving with regards to Liverpool and Nunez. Doesn't say anything about a bid, just says things are moving. James Jimbo Pierce says that talk of Liverpool having bid for him is nonsense, and that at the moment there's no plans to, quote unquote, further strengthen the midfield. Now, to further strengthen would imply that we'd already strengthened, which we haven't. I don't believe Pierce was fed that by the club. I think he's probably asked a source and just been told, no, there's no bid. If Ox leaves and West Ham do have apparently quite strong interest in him, I think then we'll pivot and go for Nunez, assuming we can't get Jude Bellingham signed in the meantime. But the idea that we're not looking to strengthen the midfield is patently untrue. If it was true, Julian Ward wouldn't have spent so much time in Dortmund over the last few weeks. Liverpool.com then. Liverpool playmaker ready for next step as Jurgen Klopp and Pep and Linders hints justify excitement. This is about Bajcetic. Liverpool advance for priority Jurgen Klopp transfer as offer made for £76 million forward. This is the Media Digest piece. Tyler Morton. Liverpool made an offer for Alexander Isak. Presumably, if this is true, it was before we signed Darwin. Priority signing, this would be Matthias Nunez. Sporting want around 40 million, and apparently we would rather pay somewhere in the region of 30 to 35. I think there's a deal there to be done if and when we decide to move. Liverpool can unlock their own Kevin De Bruyne as extra sessions can land Jurgen Klopp benefit. This is about Harvey Elliott. I think trying to draw a comparison with Kevin De Bruyne is a bit of a stretch in many ways. 5 things spotted in Liverpool win at RB Leipzig. Read that one. Julian Ward may be about to discover the next Luis Diaz after 8.5 million transfer. So this is about Gabriel Veron, who has moved from Palmeiras to Porto. He's one that's certainly worth keeping an eye on. Another Media Digest piece here. Sadio Mane scored his first goal for Bayern Munich. He scored a penalty. Scouts sent to Germany. Liverpool sent scouts to watch Hamburg's Croatian defender Marko Voskovic, according to Bild, with Burnley, Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, and an Italian club also said to be keeping an eye on the player. What age is he? He's 26-2. He's not really the type of giant that we tend to like at the back. I have a hard time believing that a player we're looking at is also a player Burnley are looking at, but maybe that's just me. There's a piece here about Sporting setting a price for Nunez as well, so you can check that out. And Harvey Davies has signed a contract extension with the Reds. He's obviously put in the work in terms of his preseason training, and the club have been impressed by what they've seen. So, yeah, one to be happy about. We've got a really strong group of goalkeepers. So, it's going to be a tough path to get a run in the team, but it's always good to keep our options open. According to another piece here on Liverpool.com, Vuskovic won just over 68% of his aerial duels. It's not bad, but we've seen players win a lot of aerial duels in the Bundesliga and then win a lot less in the Premier League. Ozan Kabak being a prime example. Kabak on his way to Hoffenheim for about 7 million. Not that it's relevant to us, but he is a former Red, so always nice to keep track. On to AnfieldIndex.com. Be patient, the best is yet to come. New piece up by Stephen Smith. Podcast-wise, there's the new AI Scouted, myself and Carl, talking about a load of random stuff, including Diego Maradona and James Milner. And then there is the new post-match Raw, which is Guy and Stephen having a chat about Liverpool versus Leipzig. So do check that out. And that is me. Hopefully speak to you all Monday. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement. and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.